I'd like to welcome you to our drop-in Q&A session this morning for Vancouver Island University's Baking and Pastry Arts Management program. This is a 2-year diploma program. We have the chair of the program here with us today, as well as 3 students. I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get going. First of all, I would like to gratefully acknowledge that Vancouver Island University is located on the traditional territory of the Coast Salish people, including the Nanaimo band, and we are very grateful to be able to live, learn, and work and play on this beautiful land. Also, I'd like to mention that we are encouraging you to ask questions today. You can do that by turning on your camera and or microphone, or you can type your questions into the chat. Please avoid adding personal information as we are recording this session today. If you would like to discuss your personal situation, we can connect you with a recruiter and you can have a private one-on-one conversation with them. And let's see. Oh, I'd like to know where everyone is joining us from. So if anyone is interested, could you please enter into the chat what country you are from today? And that will go into our round of introductions. My name is Leanne Spasnik. I'm the Manager of International Communication and Recruitment, and I'll be your host here today. And Rita, could I ask you to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I am. My name is Rita Gower, and I am the chair of a professional baking program that administers this program here at VIU.
Thank you. And now I'll ask the students to introduce themselves, and if you could include a little bit of your experience in the program, that would be great. In order of how you appear on my screen, Elora.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So good morning, everyone. My name is Elora. I'm a current student here in the Baking Diploma program at VIU. I actually moved here from up northern BC, from a little town called Chetwynd, to study school here. One experience that I recently got to experience in this program is I participated in the Skills BC competition over in Vancouver. And that was something that I really enjoyed.
And of what you've experienced in the program so far, what is your favorite as far as foods to prepare?
I really enjoy making breads right now.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, every student gets to create a signature loaf. So I just created a fig and walnut rosemary sourdough loaf, and we'll be trying that later on today.
Wow, lucky. Sounds delicious. And what do you know what you plan to do for your career?
Eventually, I would like to be able to open up my own bakery after I get some experience both locally here in Canada and hopefully internationally next year.
Great. Eric, could I ask you to join as well?
All right, just gonna make sure you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, my name is Eric. I'm originally from Victoria, just on the lower island. The year that I was graduating high school, I had already been working in a bakery for a while, but it was that year when I started actually getting shifts in the baking section. And at this point, I already knew I wanted to go to VIU, but I knew that I would also want to take a year off, save some money. So my plan was always to take a gap year. It just so happened that that year would fall right when the pandemic hit, which was actually relatively convenient for me. So I was able to get a full year of actual workplace experience before coming here. And even with all that, I would have to say that all the experience I've gained here has been incredibly valuable and something that I'm incredibly happy that I was able to experience. Similar to Elora, I also attended the Skills BC competition, which is something that will eventually be offered to other students, and it's something that I cannot recommend highly enough. It was a phenomenal experience for the both of us. And yeah, as far as plans for future career endeavors, I too would like to open my own bakery at some point, and throughout the program, we are given time to choose where we're going to work after. So we're given research opportunities to decide what it is we want to go into. So that's currently where a lot of us are looking. So I've already decided I'm going to stick with where I am this year, but similar to Elora, I'm also going to plan on going international the year after, just to gain that experience, just to get more knowledge and more hands-on, basically.
Mm-hmm. Any idea of what country you'd like to visit and work in?
I really have my sights on Italy. That is top of my list right now.
Nice.
So,
and what's your signature loaf today?
My signature loaf is actually, it's 2 doughs that I've marbled together. So one of them is a coffee sourdough, and then the second is a chocolate hazelnut sourdough. So I've just rolled those out flat, layered them on top of each other, rolled them up, and then baked them into a loaf pan. So then we're going to cut it later, and it should hopefully be nicely marbled, and then have kind of coffee, chocolate, hazelnut flavors.
Sounds great. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah,
Hannah, could you join us for a minute too?
So my name's Hannah. I actually have a bit of a different, I've actually been out of school now, high school, for 8 years, and decided to come to university finally, and chose the baking and pastry program at VIU, and then found out that they had the management program, which was new this year, and so I decided to add that on as well. Having a few years of experience in baking, I've worked in a few different bakeries and pastry shops, and kind of really cemented that I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. And especially opening up my own bakery is obviously the goal with this program. A lot of people have that goal. So as Eric said, right now we are looking for co-ops for the summer. We actually do a 10-week working co-op out in the field over the summer before we come back to school in September. And I actually just got the opportunity and got accepted a job at Jasper Park Lodge, the Fairmont in Alberta, which is very exciting for the 10 weeks. So that's kind of my step towards also going international for my second year co-op. It kind of gets me a foot into opening up other countries, especially through hotel chains. And yeah, it's kind of what my plan is.
Great, thank you. And signature loaf, now that you've mentioned it, I'm interested.
Yeah. I actually did mine yesterday, and it was a rosemary and sour cherry sourdough, which turned out exactly how I wanted it to be. So I was really happy, and I have
Wonderful.
a loaf for the weekend.
Great. Okay, I'd like to also introduce our other visitors here today. Pamela Cisneros, could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Thank you, Leanne, and thank you for the testimonials that we have heard from the students, for Rita's introduction. So my name is Pamela Cisneros, and I'm one of BIU's recruiters, and I recruited students from Latin America. So, but obviously we don't have students from Latin America here, but if you have any questions about the application dates, about the admission requirements, I'd be happy to assist you. We're all here. We have a big team, and we have colleagues located in different parts of the world who can assist you. So yeah, it's great to be here, and please feel free to put in the chat all the questions that you have. We'll be happy to answer your questions here live.
And Pamela, while I have you here on screen, one of the things that came up while Hannah was speaking that a lot of international students ask about is whether a gap between high school and university is okay or possible. And there's a different perspective on that in Canada than in some other places in the world. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So actually, one of the questions that I usually get from students who have graduated, let's say 5-10 years ago, they also think that sometimes they won't be able to apply for this program. So something that it's important to clarify is that you can apply no matter how old you are, or how many years you have been away, or how many years you haven't been studying. You can apply to this program. You just have to meet the basic requirements. You have to submit high school transcripts, and there are a few other requirements. There's an assessment that you need to complete specifically for this program, but it's easy. You just need to have the documents from your high school, and you need to have the transcripts and the high school certificate, and that's all pretty much that you need to apply. Additionally, you also need the English proficiency test, but it's not difficult, and you have the opportunity to meet your dreams. We have had students who started something differently, but realized that this is a passion that they have, and they decide to change their careers. We have had cases of students who graduated from a business degree, and then they decide to do this because it's something that they always like, that they are passionate about. So, you know, this is not just for people who just finished high school. This is for anyone who wants to do what they like.
Thank you, Pamela. And finally, I'd like to introduce Varun Calais. Varun is interning with International Marketing and Recruitment this semester. And so if you reach out to us at World VIU, either by email or by social media, Varun is our social media manager. So you will likely be talking to him if you reach out to us in those ways. Do you want to say a quick hello, Varun?
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
And where you're from and your program and such?
Yeah, so I am from Mumbai, India, and I'm in my last semester of my MBA program at VIU.
Thanks, Varun. I don't see any questions that have come into chat yet. Please do ask your questions in chat, or raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question verbally. Until we receive some questions, Rita, would you like to give a program summary?
Yes, I would. Thank you. So this is the first year that the program is running. It is a 2-year program. The first year is comprised entirely of baking. So at the end of it, you would achieve or earn a certificate in baking. And then students go on to the second year, and they take more baking courses. They take an introduction to culinary course. They take an English course, which is called University Writing and Research. And then all the other courses are delivered by the Hospitality Management Program. And they include things like human resource management, marketing, accounting, just all the different types of aspects and tools that you might need in order to be successful in running your own business. And that is sort of what we're aiming at, is students who are interested in baking, but are also interested in being entrepreneurial or going into a management career in the food industry. So when you finish the 2 years, you will know how to bake, and you will also have quite a nice little toolkit of management skills to take with you. As part of the 2-year program, we offer 2 terms of co-op work experience. So the first term comes at the end of the first year. It's 10 weeks long, and you heard some of the students talking about where they're going. So Hannah's going to Jasper Park Lodge, and so it's a paid work experience. You get to choose where geographically you'd like to go, because we have students that like to stay local on Vancouver Island, or they choose to go anywhere in British Columbia, which is the province that we live in. And some choose to go right across Canada, or some have even gone abroad internationally. There's a second term of co-op that's offered at the end of the second year. So that starts in May. And again, it's 10 weeks. Again, it's paid. And it's our hope that in that particular co-op that students might have a chance to be mentored a little bit by a manager in the business that they are working in. So students, the things that you're going to end up with in terms of credentials are the baking certificate, a diploma in baking and pastry arts management. You will also be part of the way towards your red seal in baking. So you probably don't know what a red seal is, but it is a credential given to tradespeople who have achieved all their training and a certain number of work experience hours. So for baking, we need 5,700 work experience hours and 3 levels of training. So by the time you finish the diploma, you would have 2 of the 3 levels of training, and you would have 1,500 hours towards your 5,700 hours of work experience required. So if you wished, you could go on, and work in the baking industry and accrue more hours and come back and do your 3rd year, your 3rd level of training, which is a 4-week course offered here at VIU. So some students might choose to do that, some might not. But those are the options that are open to you. And another option that is open to diploma students who successfully graduate is transferring or laddering into the 3rd year of the Bachelor of Hospitality Management program. And you do need to do a bridging semester in order to do that. So it's 5 courses that need to be taken. They can be taken at the same time that you are in the 3rd year. Although that makes for a heavy course load, so you could take an extra semester if you wish. However, that is an opportunity for graduates of the diploma program. So I'm very excited to see all of this unrolling, and our first year 2, that's the diploma part, will start in September, and our 3 students here will all be attending. I did develop this program, and so I'm happy to see that that is finally coming. It's a lot of work and a lot of time to develop a program. And I'm retiring at the end of June, so I'm happy to be able to be involved in the planning for the 2nd year. And I'm actually just now putting up postings to hire instructors. So that's where we're at. And we've got a very good one lined up. I'm pretty excited.
Great. Congratulations on your upcoming retirement. It must feel great to be able to launch this new program.
Yes. It's my little dream project.
Yeah. And so if a student does ladder into the hospitality management bachelor degree, what further job opportunities would that open up for them?
Yeah, so that opens up a huge number of job opportunities. So working, in a big hotel chain, working in, resort management, anywhere where there's food service happening, or anywhere where you're face to face with the public, delivering some kind of recreational experience, anything like that is there. And you just you have your degree and you get in and you get a job and you just start climbing the ladder. And I think a lot of people will who work in hospitality management are people who might just have started working at a company and slowly work their way up. But when you have those skills and that education, you're going to climb a lot faster and be able to command a higher wage. So there's enormous opportunities there.
I saw Jahed Ahmed. I saw your hand up a minute ago. Do you still have a question that you'd like to ask?
Yeah.
Hi, go ahead, please.
Yeah. First of all, I also mentioned that is there possible to apply the University of Vancouver, Iceland? How much required is the language fulfilled? Could you please tell me? I'm from Bangladesh, and I also highly requested to study in hospitality management. And could you please tell me? Some information about the Vancouver University? Is there any scholarships are available to international student to admission?
Sure. Pamela, could I ask you to take that question, please?
Sure. So yeah, at the moment we are not offering scholarships, and we might go back for next year, but something that we are still accepting applications. If you would like to apply for September 2022 for this year, you can still apply. You just need to make sure you have your documents ready, because we will be closing applications soon. And then the other opportunity is to apply for January 2023, that we do have the hospitality program available. But if you would like to this program for baking and pastry arts, you will need to wait until next year. Applications will be open in October of this year, and you can apply for next September. So you can have time to submit all the documents and have everything ready. Something else that I would like to mention is that if you are an international student in Canada and you apply for an academic program, you can work part-time while you are studying. Obviously, your studies are your priority, but you can manage, if you are able to manage your time, you can work part-time and during the time you are studying, and then during official breaks and holidays you can work full-time. So that can help you to get some income, and that can help your finance, and it can help a little bit with the expenses that you have in Canada.
Thank you. Thank you. Gave me a nice information.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
At the start of your question, did I hear you ask about tuition fees for the language program? If that's, could you expand on that question and we can answer that as well? Or did I mishear that?
Yeah. Some are missing to the question. Before I admission the University of Vancouver, Iceland, how much require or fulfill the English proficiency? Could you please tell me? Now I'm a complete my bachelor degree, hospitality management in Bangladesh, and now I highly interested to study in the Vancouver, Iceland University. So could you please tell me how much English proficiency must be need?
Sure. So we accept different tests, international tests, and I can put in the chat. I'm going to put a link where you can see all the tests that we accept. But some of the most recognized internationally are TOEFL IBT. You will need a minimum score of 88, no section below 20. We also accept IELTS academic, and the minimum score you require is 6.5, no band below 6. We also accept Cambridge, we accept the CPE and the CAE with a minimum score of 176. We accept Pearson and the minimum score is 60, no section below 60. And one online test that we are still accepting is TOEFL IBT Home Edition. And the minimum score is the same one, it's 88, no section below 20. So I can put that in the chat right now so you can look at all the tests that we accept. But something else that I would like to mention is that at VIU we have a English language center. So if you would like to improve your skills, you can also apply for the English language center. And once you improve your level and you meet the level required, you can start the program the academic program, in this case, the baking and pastry arts. So you can get a conditional acceptance into this program, improve your level of English at our English language center, and then you can start the academic program right away when you meet the level.
I also understand your speech clearly. So thank you. Give me some authentic information that are really thanks you. And how much qualification and must be needed admission in the Vancouver University of Iceland? Could you please tell me?
You just need to submit your high school transcripts. We are going to look at your math. You have to have math. It's one of the requirements. So you need to have a minimum C grade in Foundations of Mathematics or Pre-Calculus in grade 10. But then what you need is to successfully finish high school.
Okay. Okay, I'll also send you my document. You can give me an email and
yeah, if you'd like to email us at worldviu@viu.ca, we have a team in South Asia who can help students from Bangladesh. So you can get in touch with them. Yeah.
Okay.
I see a question in the chat from King. He's asking if Duolingo is okay. So we're not accepting Duolingo for direct entry into our programs, but if you would like to do a pathway and first start at our English Language Center, you can use Duolingo. You can take Duolingo, and with that score, we will place you in one of our levels, and then you can take one or as many levels as you need in our English Language Center, and then you can start. After you successfully complete those levels, you will be able to continue your studies in one of the academic programs. So Duolingo is not accepted for direct entry, but it would be accepted for English Language Center.
Oh, so how much score must be needed in the Duolingo exam? So your university, what score are accepted in English language proficiency to admission?
Duolingo is not accepted for direct entry, and
Direct
depending on the score you get, you will be placed at a different level. So for example, just as an example, if you get a score of 90 in Duolingo, you will be placed in our level 4, which is UP4. So it would depend on the score you get.
Oh, so I think IELTS is the better option for me, because if we get a good score in the IELTS, for example, I got a 6.5, not less than 6. I applied the direct entry. There's also benefit for me. So that's why I highly try my level best to improve my English level as well as improve my IELTS score. That also need to admission in Vancouver University of the direct scores.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think in your case, it would be better if you take IELTS or TOEFL, and if you meet the requirement, you can apply directly to the program without going through the English Language Center.
So could you please tell me, I highly interested to study in the hospitality management. So how much long this course? Could you please tell me?
How long?
So
I'm sorry.
I highly interested to hospitality management is the master's program. So is there any master's program are available in your university?
Yes, we do have different master's degrees that you can apply. We have, for example, the MBA. We also have a master in arts in sustainable leisure management. We have 2 master's degrees in the educational field. We also have another master's degree in community planning, and another one in geographic information systems. So there are some options for you. I'm gonna put in the chat a link where you can find our brochure, and you can go through all the programs that we have.
So before I admission the master's program, your university, how much CGPA must be needed in the bachelor for international student?
That would depend on the program, but it's what we will look. It's at your 2 years, the last 2 years of your university, and you need to meet for most of the master's degrees a B grade GPA.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Give me authentic information, and I also give you my all of document by the email, and so thank you. See you soon. Meet with you, inshallah.
You're welcome. You have in
Thank
the
you.
chat, I put the email that you can contact. You can email to us and we can guide you. It's wordbiu@biu.ca.
Okay.
Let's go back to our students again. Elora, could you talk about your experience at VIU on campus and with student supports and the community at VIU?
So I haven't actually had a ton of interaction with student supports here at VIU, but what interaction that I have had, everyone has been so helpful. So especially when I was transferring from the certificate program to the diploma program for baking, I got to interact with a ton of people here at VIU SU, and everyone was super, super helpful. As far as community, I've made a ton of friends with all my classmates, and just learning to interact and work together with everyone has been a wonderful experience.
Great. Are you staying off campus or do you live in the
I am
residence?
staying off campus.
Okay. Do any of the students have experience with the staying in residence at VIU? Eric? What's that been like for you?
The residency, the buildings are about what you would expect for college residency. Like they're very much livable. The support that you get there is pretty decent. Overall, you're given a decent amount of space depending on what kind of room you apply for. But for the most part, they're all pretty good. Like they definitely get the job done quite well. There's plenty of parking for anyone who has a car. Like just, yeah, generally it's pretty solid experience.
And they're townhouse style residences at VIU, right?
So there's a few different styles. The one I'm currently in, I believe it's called traditional because you're given a room where you share a bathroom with someone next to you. Like there's two separate rooms linked together by a bathroom and you're each just alone in your own rooms. I do know that there are also apartment styles and townhouse styles. I can't speak too much about the townhouse styles, but I can confirm that the apartment style buildings are a lot more spacious. You're given 4 total rooms with 2 bathrooms each, a common space with a kitchen, and each room can hold up to 2 people, but you can also apply to have one by yourself.
And what kind of social activities happen around residences?
When you apply to residence, you're given you're sent an email by the CL of the floor. So each floor of every building has a community leader who will send out an email inviting you into a group chat, normally on Instagram. At least that's where mine is. Some might be on Messenger or Snapchat or other social media platforms, but you're given this group chat, and then the CL is also in charge of letting you know about all of the community activities. There's plenty to go around. There's at least, I want to say, 3 or 4 different events a week. A lot of them are just simple board game nights. Some of them are sporting events. A lot of them can be walks. And yeah, there's just a lot that goes around in the buildings. And I feel like the communication around what happens and when it's going on is really solid.
Great. And students can either have a meal plan with the cafeterias, or you can cook in your residences, right?
Yeah, so I personally am not part of the meal plan. I just do all my cooking myself, but I do have a friend who was a part of it. He said it was really good. All the cafeteria food was really solid. He enjoyed it a lot. And I'm pretty sure that the meal plan goes from Monday to Friday, but then on weekends, the cafeterias are closed. So students will have to take that into account.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Hannah, what's your experience been with the community at VIU?
Well, in regards to like student services and stuff, it's been really great. I was actually supposed to start this program last year and ended up deferring due to COVID and other things. And so the communication there and the help that I was given was really amazing. And also when I transferred from the certificate program to the diploma program, like Elora, it was very helpful. The student services people, they got back to me very quickly and were happy to help with all the problems. And then community-wise, I I really love it here. There's always seems to be some sort of event and tents going up. And just last week there was a bunch of tents up, and I know there was like a beer garden that a few friends went to, and the events through the student union are really good. They have a open mic night every Thursday, I think, in the student union pub. There was just a few weekends ago, there was the big basketball tournament that went on here, which was huge. And quite a few of my friends were volunteering in it, helping out, cooking hot dogs and doing tickets and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was very big VIU community type of environment.
Yeah,
So,
VIU hosted the nationals for
yeah,
women's basketball, and we won silver.
Yeah,
It was pretty exciting.
it was crazy in the gym. It was very good.
Great.
So I really enjoyed it. I actually live off campus with my friend who's in the MBA program, and so she's very much involved with a lot of the community stuff as well. And so I've kind of been pulled into a lot more, which has been great.
Mm-hmm. And compared to universities in big cities, one of the things about studying at BIU is that we're very close to nature. Can you talk about that a little bit, about life in Nanaimo?
Yeah, so I live off campus. I live actually up the hill from the university in a basement suite, and we are only about a 5-minute walk from Westwood Lake, which is one of the big popular lakes here. So being able to just walk out of the house and be at the lake in 5 minutes is amazing. It's a very beautiful walk around the lake. It takes about an hour and a half. But in the summer, I'm sure it'll be a great swimming spot as well, and hangout spot at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I also love
paddleboarding.
Yeah, I'm not that great at that, but I grew up on the island, so I always love being so close to the ocean as well. So it's only about a 5-minute, 10-minute drive to get to the water, pretty much in any, like just down the hill. There's lots of beaches in Nanaimo, lots of hiking trails, lots of just walking trails, lakes. There seems to be so many lakes in Nanaimo compared to Victoria as well. I feel like there's a lake every 5 minutes. So I really love it.
Nice. What about Eric and Elora? Is there anything else you'd like to add about life in Nanaimo, how you're enjoying it outside of your study time?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that. Generally, like Hannah was saying, there's a lot of places you can go anytime. It's Vancouver Island. It's really hard to go any direction without finding either water, forest, or mountains. So there's plenty of really nice spots to go to for walks, hikes, runs, whatever it is you're into. There's, for myself especially, there's a lot of public soccer fields that are great for anyone who's into like sports and stuff that you can just go to pretty much any time. And as well, especially for anyone living on campus, there's a lot of really good spots to go shopping for groceries close by. Like everything is pretty concentrated around the area of VIU. So there's never been any issues I've ran into where trying to get somewhere or something has been a challenge. Like there's always something to do.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks, Eric. And could you, if you can stay on with me for another second here, we'll get back to the program again. Could you talk about some of the other things that you've learned so far in the program?
Yeah, definitely. The place I was working at in Victoria, we focused mostly on breads, laminated products, and that kind of stuff, like more savory items. So being in this program, we do cover more of that, and I've learned a lot more about all those things, but especially for myself, learning so much about pastries and more almost fine dining style plated dishes has been really valuable and something that I absolutely hope to take into my career as I go further and learn more of. And one thing that Elora could also vouch for, because this was part of our Skills BC competition, and I would argue is the biggest thing I've learned, working with chocolate has been immense. Like, it has been a really long process of learning how to properly temper, work with, and then create all these different shapes out of it. But it's something that a lot of students will be exposed to and something that's super valuable.
Thanks, Eric. I'm going to invite the prospective students to enter any last questions that you might have into the chat now, if you have them. And Rita, do you have any anything that you'd like to add from the information we've shared so far?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say that Elora and Eric, who participated in Skills BC, are very modest, because Elora got silver and Eric got bronze. So they acquitted themselves very, very well, and they worked so hard and so long to get to that competition, all on their own time outside of school. So we're really proud of them.
Well done. Congratulations, both of you.
And I'd also like to follow up on Eleora's comment about how many friends she's made in the program. So the class sizes are small. There's 2 classes that start each year in late August, and there's 18 students in the class. So when it's a small group like that, it's easy to meet people and really get to know them and establish good relationships with them. And there are 2 instructors in the program in the first year, and there would be a different instructor for the baking part in the second year. But again, it's a very tight-knit community, and you're in a building. There are no other programs in the building except for the culinary program that comes down from time to time for a few weeks at a time. So it's a very tight-knit group, and I think that's really attractive for students who are coming from another country and who might not have any family or friends here. To know that you've got an opportunity to make new friends and to feel, really supported. You're not going to be, lost in a sea of faces in a giant lecture hall or anything like that. That's not VIU. VIU is about small classes and really good rapport with instructors who care about you and will help you. And I think that is one of our strongest. Can't think of the words, but yeah, it's a strength of ours for sure.
Yeah, and VIU is very unique in that we have several outlets on campus where the baking and culinary students can actually, where the products are served or sold. Can you talk about that, about the uniqueness of the VIU culinary community?
Yeah, so in the baking program, you are actually, and in the culinary program, you're actually preparing food for real life people. So in the case of the baking program, they're supplying to both the cafeterias we have on campus. So, muffins, scones, anything that you might want to have with a cup of coffee, in addition to a wide range of pastries, breads, laminated products like croissants and Danish. Donuts, all those things. So they're all on display in both cafeterias, and they get snapped up, right? We have a large and loyal and hungry following. And so that is another strength of the program, is that, you feel like you're in a real bakery, because you're making stuff and you're selling, that product is being sold and eaten by real life people. And I think that helps students to feel very comfortable when they do go out on co-op or they do go out to work, is that they are used to feeling some pressure to produce, and but at the same time, they are still learning really interesting techniques. There's time to slow down and kind of take a deeper dive into things. But yeah, it's a strength of our program. There are, other baking programs that are much more lab focused. So it's all about watching, an instructor demonstrate something, and then you go and make a small amount of it, and then you come back and watch another demo, and the food is not sold. It's either given to students to take home, or it's given to the food bank, whatever, it's donated. So there is value in that style of teaching as well, but I do believe that having that structure where it is a bakery and there is pressure to produce and there are real people waiting at 7:30 with their cup of coffee going, where is my muffin? That's a valuable experience too.
On behalf of the staff at VIU, I know we certainly appreciate and benefit from your program.
I think everyone enjoys those things for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And just as we're wrapping up here, can I ask Pamela to join and talk about the application process?
Sure. So as I mentioned, we're still accepting applications for September 2022. We have only one intake for this program, so you can only apply and you can start this program only starts in September every year. So we are closing applications for this September soon in this month, and applications for next September will be opening in October this year. What you need to do, it's very easy. The steps are very simple and easy to follow. You just need to go online. There's an online form that you need to fill in, and there you have the option to choose the program. There's an option where you can say university program, and you have all the available options. Then once you choose the program of you're interested, in this case, baking and pastry arts, after that, you will have an option, a section where you can upload all the documents that I mentioned that you need to upload: the high school transcript, the high school diploma, the English language proficiency test. We need also the copy of your passport, your scanned copy of your passport. And then once you finish that, you complete all the boxes in the form, then you can make a payment. It's 150 Canadian dollars for the application. Once you submit that, admissions will review your application, and if you meet all the requirements, we will send you an offer letter. And after you send us the first payment, then we can send you the acceptance letter, and you can use that letter to start your visa, your study permit application. So it's not difficult. However, if you have any questions or if you need guidance through this process, we're here to help you and support you. Please don't hesitate. That's where we're here. We have recruiters in other countries as well who can help you and assist you. And that way the process will be easier. Once you have been accepted to BIU, there would be other people helping you as well and giving you all the support you need. We will help you deciding what's the best option for you, whether you want to live in a residence or whether you want to live in a host family, or you want to live off campus. So we do guide you through the process after you've been accepted. And once you're in Nanaimo, you will see how the whole community at BIU will welcome you.
Thank you, Pamela.
The whole process.
And I'm just entering into chat our email address, worldviu@viu.ca. And you can ask us questions there. We can support you in whatever you need as far as submitting your application. And we can also connect you with a recruiter. We have 5 offices in different regions of the world. So we often have someone who can help you in your time zone, so you don't have to wait overnight to receive a response. So I've just entered that into chat. Once again, worldviu@viu.ca. And with that, I think we'll end the session here. I'd like to thank Rita Gower, Program Chair for Baking and Pastry Arts Management Diploma. Thank you to our students, Elora, Eric, and Hannah. Thank you, Pamela, for your support today, and to our technical support, who is our fabulous intern at International Marketing, Varun Kalei. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day or evening from wherever you're joining us from. And we hope to see you on campus at VIU very, very soon. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Give me a nice information. And
thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.